But let's do one thing. Our next guest is someone who is so privileged and honored to have amongst us. She's an engineer, an educator, and a philanthropist. She founded the Infosys Foundation and is presently also the chairperson of the Murty Trust. But most importantly, she is Bharat's most famous children's author. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, big round of applause, Padma Bhushan, Srimati Sudha Murty ji. Sudha ji, namaste. Please come.
चरण स्पर्श करता हूँ जब शो पे आए थे तो किया था आपका चरण स्पर्श
Thank you. Aye, please, Sudha ji, please.
आप बैठिए.
Yeah. As we sit, Sudha ji, thank you so much. You know, as an author, you're so popular, so popular, especially amongst this current generation. You must get Gopi to write a diary on Sadak Suraksha Abhiyaan. But first, question to you also, Sudha ji, as we understanding. We've got lots to learn from you also. But while watching Nitin ji interact with school children, one of the aspects that came to mind was inculcating empathy. We are calling this entire suffer of season 2. Are there examples from which we can actually learn and try and imbibe it into bringing, perhaps cultivating empathy as far as Sadak Suraksha is concerned? Road safety.
Because children's mind is like a wet wall. And whatever we teach them in a young age, it will be etched on that. So, part of the parenting, you know, like you have to tell children follow the rules, and father should or mother should follow. Father and mother should follow. The role models are not the outsiders. It is the parents and teachers, at least in a young age, you know. So I always felt we should encourage teachers and tell students a story or an example when it's a bad driving, when there is no empathy and what happens to that. So it should be a part of the school curriculum, like how you teach drawing, how you have PT, you have many things in school. One of them is like compassion to others. Philanthropy does not mean always giving money. Philanthropy is helping others. And if little bit of help they can do, you can say so many children, so many people, you must do in that level. 40% of the people die because of the not wearing helmet, not wearing the seat belt, etc. These are simple things, and we never talk about it. We always think it happens to somebody, not to us. It's like Mahabharata, there is a story, Yaksha says, what is the biggest thing in life? He says, someone dies, and we always feel, oh, the death happens in their house, not in my house. But it also comes to you. Similarly, parents and children should be aware. The accident does not happen to someone else's house. If we don't follow, it can happen to us also. So it should be very essential part of teaching and giving them the idea of compassion, helping others.
Very innovative ways of doing this also. Amit ji.
I just wanted to ask Sudhaji, what is tragic is that sometimes, you know, we may get involved in a crash for no fault of ours, as you were saying. In such a situation, safety gear such as seat belts that you were talking, and wearing helmets, etc. कुछ आंकड़े आए हैं कि in 2022, ladies and gentlemen, nearly 40% of all deaths, they occur due to the non-usage of helmets and seat belts. So how can we address this issue, Sudhaji? I mean, we've heard the Honorable Minister talk about it and say we have to keep wearing it. We keep drumming this thing inside the heads of people. But the fact is that you have to realize, and perhaps, you know, जो बच्चों को बचपन में सिखाया जाता है ना बेल्ट पहनने का, वो कहीं ना कहीं वो बात रहती है.
It is imbibed, sir.
जी जी. और वो जो बच्चे जो होते हैं, Sudha ji, I am talking through personal experience. We did a huge campaign for Swachh Bharat and involved children in it. And one day I just visited my neighbor's house and कुछ पूजा वूजा चल रही थी तो कोई आया था, उसने कुछ खाया हुआ ऐसे ही नीचे रख दिया. सर वो बच्चा दौड़ा दौड़ा है, कहा भाई साहब आपको मालूम नहीं है ये गलत है. So that kid actually scolded that person that तुम ये सफाई के काम ये गलत है. And then I asked him, where did you learn this? I know it. I was taught in school. And I tell all my class fellows everything. You know, somewhere in the mind, वो जो बच्चे के दिमाग में एक बार चली जाती है बात, वो फिर देखता है सारी जिंदगी पूरा करता है. So I just feel that this is something that we should inculcate in children at a very young age.
See, I was a professor in a college and I used to take my students to places, to show them, suppose there is an accident, what happens? Or suppose there is something, you did something wrong, what happens? I used to take them to hospitals and show them, my young students, they were 17, 18, 19, 20. Look, by your mistake, how people suffer. A bread earner will die. And, your life will be stopped. So, seeing by example, many of my students became very much aware of that, So, it's a duty of the parents also. I used to take my children to all the bastis and show how people struggle. Please understand, it's your duty to help them. It's only by example, seeing by example, children change. That's very essential, and it's a part of our parenting also. We have to teach children, because if your child may be one of them. I have seen one of my classmates, and he died. He was only 18, and the only child to his parents. By simple mistake, there was a bus. He got down from the bus and he wanted to cross, and that time the other side the car came. Only he would have waited for 20 seconds more, he would have saved. So these are the examples we have to see, and then we have to tell children. Children's mind is very receptive when they are. And that's the reason children will learn many languages. Like I learned Marathi because when I was a child, I was in Kolhapur and I picked up Marathi. It's with me even after after 60 years. So children pick up the language, pick up the good habits.
सुधा जी शायद इसलिए क्योंकि उनमें संवेदना बहुत होती है. वो अपने.
Ma'am, I'll just want one example you gave just now about the kid who got run by it. Yes, they should be careful. But I just feel that the guy who was driving that car, all right, let me just tell you, because many a times I feel this. The bus stops, बस के बाएं तरफ से जनता निकलती है और फिर इधर से निकल के सड़क पार करती है. आप इधर से आ रहे हैं या वो सामने से आकर के क्रॉस करता है. If I'm driving the car this way, I don't know who is behind the truck.
Yes.
And that is why I'm speeding or whatever going on matter. और वो बच्चा उस समय निकलता है, उसकी गलती है. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं अगर ड्राइवर ये सोचे कि भैया बस रुकी है, इसमें से पैसेंजर निकलेंगे, हो सकता है कि वो सामने से आए, मैं थोड़ा सा ध्यान से गाड़ी चलाऊं until I overtake that bus.
Yeah, honk a little.
तो वो not even honking, just
slow
go
down,
a bit slow.
slow down.
That if there is a chap that is wanting to cross, I will know about it and I can put my brake.